everybody. If I could get your attention here, I'd just like to welcome everybody to tonight's events. And this is our free Marc Emery party. And my name's Rick Weber. Yeah! And I'm the owner of EOB headquarters, as some of you know. And we have one hell of a night planned for you. Gravity Crash kicked it off really great. Gravity Crash! Okay, and we got the City Prophets coming up later, so just we're gonna rock it tonight even some more. So you know, this is a party to show Marc and his family that our small community of Lethbridge still gives a shit that Marc is in prison. And that's the facts here, you know. This guy tried to do a lot for us, and in a small way, this party is going to help Marc get through his sentence, because he'll know that what he did wasn't for a waste of time. We'll make sure he knows that Lethbridge still cares, and his message is still alive and well here. Marc has inspired so many of us pot smokers, and I know that tonight will help inspire him get through the tough times he faces in prison. Marc, yeah! Marc brought Canadians together to embrace marijuana for what it is, the greatest plant on earth. And now, even when the government has silenced Marc by burying him in a hole where he barely sees the light of day, they cannot silence us. And in this way, they cannot stop Marc's message. This proves to me that when a message of truth is preached, nothing any government does anywhere will ever be able to silence it, as long as we keep remembering. And when Marc gets out, which isn't far down the road, I have hope that he will continue his journey to legalize marijuana in Canada, and because of Canadians like us, he'll know that it's worth it. And that's what I really think I'm here to say, is like, fuck what everybody else has to say, you know. I still care about Marc. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even own my store. And when I first tried to open it, I emailed Marc and said, what do I do, man? How do I open this thing? Like, nobody's helping me. And he said, you know where to start. He got me in touch with Bob, and here I am today. And so everything that's come from my store really has to do with Marc. And there's nothing more than I could be prouder to do in this whole world than help raise some money to help this guy out a little, you know, and show him that you're not alone, man. Like, we still care. So that's what it's all about for me. And we got some other people who feel the same way about this. So I'm going to invite my really close friend up here, Kathy Galbraith, to say a couple words about Marc. She's a long-term Marc supporter, so give it up for Kathy.
Oh, hi. I'm really happy to get to say a couple words to all you Lethbridge wonderful folks about the situation with the wonderful herb that we all appreciate in some form or another. Some have medical needs, others don't term it that, but it's about semantics. Anyway, it's about freeing a plant, it's about human rights, and it's about treating someone with humanity like Canadians are known for. Anyway, some people look at me and say, you're an old chick, you're a religious chick. I lived through the 60s. Say, hey, this should be something that is just on the shelf of the pharmacy or something, but yeah, we just took it in stride as a part of life, which should be. Anyway, yes, I don't consider myself any kind of religious fanatic, but I do read the Bible. I consider, you know, it to be a wonderfully spiritually upbuilding book, and I consider that, you know, if God is almighty and great, that he's also very logical. And so he would put the most important book at the beginning. in case somebody just picked it up and read a little bit, the important thing would be at the start. That's what I believe. And sure enough, in the first book, chapter 1, verse 11, so it's easy for anybody to remember, even me, 1:11, it says, and the green herbs were very good and created for the use of man. And so that's the only quote I need. Exactly. And so I just want to say, in the spirit of the 60s, that Marc is sitting in jail unfairly. It's un-Canadian, it's inhuman, and we, not being allowed to go or email, can write him letters. And so I brought a whole bunch of addressed envelopes. Anyone who wants can have one. It already has the address for Marc in the jail down in Mississippi, where he's treated as an alien because he's from Canada and mostly non-English speaking. And anyone who wants can have one, but you'll have to get your own stamp because they cost $1.03, which is pretty steep. So, but yes, please do, or write your own more envelopes and write to him regularly. Just tell him about your day, anything, to brighten his day, because it looks like he may be there for a while. But please also, the other things you can do are to write to our Justice Minister, demand that Marc be brought home. You can write to Harper, demand that they bring him home. You can write to Obama and demand they pardon him. Demand it. It's ridiculous. And that's all I have to say.
Thanks a lot, Kathy. Right now I actually have a poem to read from Amy Taylor of Grand Prairie, who couldn't be with us today, but she sent some of her hand-painted t-shirts that are up for raffle, and she really wishes she could be here, and so much that she wrote a poem, so I'm going to read it for her, because goddamn it, she deserves for you guys to hear this poem. Okay. Marc Emery, a political prisoner, a decent man, trapped in the bullshit, caged in a can. For trying to make better a world gone to hell, the government's wrong, but they'll never tell. Let's get him home so he can be free to continue his passion for you and for me. And that's from Amy Taylor. So I think that pretty much says a lot and very little. But there's someone else who'd like to say something else here tonight. And I'd like to invite up Lisa Kirkman, who's also signing and selling her book upstairs. Is Lisa here? There's Lisa.